Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's dead on 7 o'clock. Welcome to the first Parks Committee of the new council since the mayor, held on the Monday the 18th of May. This meeting will be live streamed through the council's Facebook page. Persons attending will be captured on film, except when sitting in the public area with the exclusion of the first row. Any speech may be picked up and broadcast. The fire alarm drill is not planned, and in the event of the alarm sounds, please make your way out of the building using either staircase to the meeting point in Red Line Yard and await further instructions. Councillors are reminded that to avoid the risk of being seen as a predetermined or biased, they should consider audio prior to deciding on how to vote on items of business. Urgent items for information only can be brought to the attention of the committee at the discretion of myself at the end of the meeting. No decisions can be taken on items not detailed in the published agenda. Please ensure mobile phones are turned off or silent. Apologies for absence, please.
I have Councillor Holt for illness and Councillor Ricketts for personal reasons.
I have a proposal that we accept those. Councillor Island, second of Councillor Coleman. All in favour? Thank you. Can I receive declarations of interest, to receive disclosures of interest from councillors on matters to be considered at a meeting? The disclosure shall include the nature of the interest. If a member becomes aware during the course of the meeting of an interest that has not been disclosed, they must do so immediately. Councillor Marsh.
Number 17, trustee. Oh, can I go back to that? I can see something.
Yep.
Okay. Public participation. To receive questions and comments from members of the public. Your nibbles thing is in part 2. Which is done in camera, so this is your opportunity now to put forward your case, which we'll look at later on.
Yeah, so I'm those that don't know my name, I'm the owner of Nibbles Cafe, which is based within the Park Research Centre over in St Park. You have got my item on the agenda number 16, I believe, with seating for outside living. So just wanted to come along and give you a bit of context and background really to why I actually requested that. Those of you that have been around the cafe recently have seen how benches installed on the outside, which obviously belongs to the Leisure Centre, which is fine. But I was hoping to ask for permission to have seating over the other side, sort of nearest the green area, not actually on the green, but just the paving in front of. We've obviously still using our alternative seating, but we're obviously squeezing it in around the area immediately outside Parkland because we are needing that. We've had really busy days lately where all the benches have been used, all the seats have been used outside. So I would really love to be able to use that area over the other side. I think speaking from Emma previously, there's maybe talk of a charge for that, for using that space. I don't know how it works, but obviously I wanted to request permission to do that. I don't know how that's achieved, but I'd love for you to be considering that for us today. Obviously, we wouldn't be restricting any access through there. Particularly we've got the park run on Saturday morning, so we'd be very conscious of keeping that clear and safe for the runners to still use that space. Also, I am very conscious of keeping that area very clean. We do try and lift pick the area every morning. Obviously things get blown over onto the green or cutting goes on. So we are very conscious of keeping that all clean. So I wanted to reassure you of that it would still look pristine if we can have it. And yeah, I mean it's really got to that point now where we are getting really busy on sunny days particularly. People are wanting to come sit there. Obviously we don't allow dogs in the actual centre, so we've got dog walks to come along. So yeah, just your consideration would be all say how wonderful the park is. So I was hoping that one of the tracks from the park would be here tonight, just to sort of, you know, say how wonderful that the ground is kept. People really appreciate walking around the parks. I think it's wonderful to have such an amazing asset in the town. So I just wanted to pass it on to you as well, and hopefully you can pass on to people that work in the park area. So yeah, I just hopefully you can consider that and just let me know, keep me posted on what we can do to achieve that.
Thank
Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you very much, and we'll certainly. So I've got a question.
I've just got a little bit of clarity for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
You've got some tables and chairs out there at the moment.
Yeah.
Are you going to leave those there, or will those come then nearer to the putting green?
So the benches that are in place,
Yeah.
I bought 4 new benches which are actually fixed in place.
Yes.
That's outside the immediate front of the leisure centre.
Yeah.
The tables and chairs that we have come in every night. We don't have them left outside.
No, but when you put them out for people to use,
Yeah.
will they be more or less where they are now, or will they come then nearer to the
I would
putting?
like them to be where the edge of the putting green is, just to kind of put them around the edge of that area.
Right.
So
So
there'll still
you
be
have
a very
passage
clear-
between the two
Yeah, there'll
lots.
still be
Okay.
very clear access. Some of them can go over to the edge, to the left where the benches are. But yeah, particularly, I mean, obviously, particularly days like Park when there will be access.
So Bird.
Can I just ask, how many were you thinking of having on the putting side of we were?
So there's six lots of 4 chairs. So there's 6 tables with 4 chairs on each.
And round tables?
Yeah, they're round bistro tables. So it'll be seating for about 48 people out there together, including the benches. So, but obviously, you know, lately the days we've shown that we are filling all of those tables and chairs. So there is a need there. And obviously, particularly looking at access for disabled people, for example, squeezing those other tables in is proving a little bit tricky for that as well. So to have that extra space would be ideal. Okay, lovely.
Anybody
Thank
else?
you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll certainly pass your comments on to James as well, the park
That's
keeper.
very, yeah, that's very kind.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for your time.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Bye.
Talking of James, I'll
Let
give
me
you,
I'll change my hat a moment.
this is the park keeper's report.
It is. I
Both
have
them.
been given his report to read for him as he is not able to be here this evening. Good evening, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you all tonight, but here is a brief update of what has been happening in the park. Since the last meeting, warmer conditions have arrived, and we have mainly been concentrating on weeding the areas in the park and around the town, and also grass cutting. Multiple areas in the park have been left for no mow May, and due to this happening the past 4 years, the English bluebells are really starting to spread nicely. Planting of areas with annuals has started in the sensory garden and in the park, but this was held back due to the never-ending threat of frost. We have also replanted around the original bandstand, and when dry enough, we still plan to build a path to access it. Obviously, the diesel spill has been the big issue of the past month, and the clean-up operation is still taking place with the river still closed off in certain areas. But other than from the stream that feeds the river, where there has been a lot of invertebrate death, in the main river itself, there has been no noticeable loss of life, and I feel with 1,200 litres of red diesel entering the river, it was extremely lucky that the river is fast flowing and has resulted in this not becoming a major incident for the state of the river. I would hope lessons are learned from this in regards to the action of GWR during and post the leak from the train and the cleaning of the tracks the next day. Also, the time taken to try and stop the flow into the river by the Environment Agency in the early stages of the spill. Both the actions and lack of thought from GWR and initial responses from the Environment Agency have disappointed me. On a brighter note, this autumn evidence of dormice was found on site and a couple of nest boxes have been put up for them. Our nocturnal evening walk in the park was very well attended with over 50 people in attendance and 4 different species of bat recorded and 2 different types seen by the public. Once again, I'd like to say thank you to the Oakhampton Police for attending the event with an infrared camera so that even when darkness fell, people could still watch the bats. Dates for the rest of the wildlife events for this year are advertised on Facebook and in the park. We also recently had the Green Flag Award judge visit, which all seemed to go very well, and we await their decision soon.
Well done,
I'm going to say
George.
you can ask questions, but I might not be able to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions of our local locum parkkeeper? No. Moving on, members' questions? To receive questions from members regarding the workings of this committee? No. Minutes to confirm and approve and sign the minutes of the Parks Committee held on the 16th of February last. Proposed, Councillor Wyman, seconded, Councillor Marsh. All in favour? Thank you.
You'll do them at the end.
Item 7, Simmons Park. Bookings. To note, events that have either taken place or are scheduled to take place in Simmons Park, subject to the receipt of the necessary paperwork.
So on your meeting report, you have got a list of events. So the park run is every Saturday, bar when the fair or other things like bridge repairs are happening. We have the Rotary Fair on the 24th of May. Rowlands Fair is coming Sunday the 31st of May and leaving during Monday the 8th of June. There is a charity dog show on the 14th of June, and Oakhampton College are having a music festival on the 4th of July, and there is a Pride event on the 18th of July.
Thank you. And item B, to review the booking policy, terms and conditions, and form checklist. Straight in behind that list.
I would like to confirm for members that the red line does actually go around the correct area of the park, and it shifted during putting the bits of paper together, as I had pointed out to me this morning. The policies are basically the same, bar where we had the inflatable event and we charged for a commercial event, changing that so that it is in the terms and conditions if we so choose to charge in the future. The checklist is new after we had a Freedom of Information request for some information about the park after the fair was here last time. So we are now sort of making sure that everyone is aware of all the things they need, we need, and to check it before they come and when they leave to try and make sure everybody is happy.
Councillor Leach, Councillor Marsh.
Yeah, just to confirm, the red light, as soon as it needs to go to the left,
Yes,
and will do when it goes.
yes.
Councillor Marsh.
Yeah, there's just a couple of things on the booking form where you've got number of people expected to attend. The last one, 101 to 250. 250 is not very many when you've got an event like we had the party in the park. There were a lot more than that then. So,
Would you like to increase the numbers?
or,
Just 101 plus.
yeah,
Okay.
and the other thing is the toilets, where it says about, oh here we are, on the previous page for that, stewarding security details need to be included in your risk assessment form. Can we add there that if they get tipped over, it's their responsibility to, because that has happened before, and not our parkkeeper.
Yes.
Anybody else? Councillor Holland?
Yeah, just a small point, Jeff. I'm a bit concerned about 101 and leaving it open. That's a hell of a lot of people open, isn't it? You know, leave the gates open a lot, 101 plus. You know, it could be, you know, 1,000 people. You know.
couldn't I?
Can I reply to that and say that how can we do count anyway? And it's not a restricted seating area where, like in here or the town hall, or the charter hall or anything, it's difficult to evaluate that number.
It's not just health and safety, is it?
No.
Building. But you want to give us a number?
Can I answer that?
Go on then.
Part of it is to identify, if you are holding a small event where you're expecting 10 people, we are not expecting there to need to be as much inspection or checking for damage afterwards. If you tell us you are expecting 250 people, we are going to be more concerned about the litter and the type of event. If you're going to tell us you're expecting 1,000 people, although the park is open, it still comes with some more questions that we would have about your event and the organisation for it. So it doesn't matter if you tell us that you're expecting 900 and 950 people come. It's not a case of fitting them in. It's a indicator to us of it's a homeschooling group. You are going to be absolutely fine with no involvement from the parks team to you are holding a party in the park. There is hot food stalls. We are going to need to think about the litter and the bins and the damage to the ground.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Yellen?
I might be barking up completely wrong tree because I can't remember the regulations around this, but you don't have any reference to Martin's Law in here?
No.
Does it need to be? Because it's outdoors, it doesn't need to be, is that correct?
Because there is no restriction of access, even if you are holding an event in there, it does not apply.
Okay.
Councillor Bird?
For that point, number of people access to 10, should we just leave it open and they put a number in?
We can do.
Because rather than collecting numbers, you could just say an estimation of round up to the nearest or whatever, 10.
Can't just put 1 to 1,000 and then in
Yes.
brackets,
Yeah,
please,
that's fair.
please state.
Yeah, that's it.
Can you do that?
If
Happy
the-
with that? That'll give you an indication and it will stop 2,000 coming in.
Or 1,010.
Yeah. Okay, that's 7.1.
Do I have a proposer and seconder for those bits with the
Councillor
money?
Ireland proposing. These are the Judy amendments. Councillor Bird. All in favour? Thank you very much. Unanimous. 7.2, to consider maintenance responsibilities for the access to Opera. This is again on your paper. Item 7.2.
I do have a comment from the park keeper if you so require it. He's left me a whole list of notes.
This is the current situations that are there. This is DMAP in the blue, football club in pink. The access road in yellow is maintained by the football club. The dark blue bit outside is currently our responsibility, but mainly used for disabled drivers access to the pavilion. The committee has requested to consider asking Opera to maintain the access way, which is highlighted in dark blue. Councillor Marsh?
Why are we asking Opera to do it when it's college land, although Opera use it? That piece does belong to the college.
Noted that one. Does your comment refer to that?
I was going to say, as far as I'm aware, it's not college land.
It's not ours. The whole piece, which is grey at the very top of the page, that road going down to the gate and through it, belongs to the college. That access was...
So I come to think of it, I think we actually had to change the DMAT lease to take out that football club bit and the little bit of drives. The rest remains with them, is that right? Yeah, so we don't look after the road that gets you there, do we?
No, no.
And it's, is it not?
Or this piece coming down to the gate.
So
That's
it's not a
our
private
bit.
road.
Well, it's a piece of,
County council. Anyway, so Councillor Leach.
It's all part of the footpath. So I suppose you could argue that it should be partly dedicated council footpath. But I'm saying that when you think of the literally thousands of student feet that walk across that to get to the playing fields, etc., then DMAT ought to have some right in paying for this.
Anybody else? I've just realised I'll probably have to declare an interest sometime. Being Ochre trustee. So as long as you're aware of that. That's what's going on. Councillor Yelland.
I think it was helpful, I'm just sort of cast back in my memory from before the pavilion was there, and what there was around there was a shed, and when I was at college, or comprehensive as it was then, that's where we did boat maintenance up there, and I can remember that the trailer would be back down to collect the boats, to take them out, which does suggest that, I'm not quite sure it's Councillor Marshall, Councillor Leach said that that is Devon County owned rather than, I mean, it might have been done with consent, I suppose, but it does make sense that it would actually belong to either county or DMAT rather than to us.
Councillor Marsden, Councillor Leach.
following on from that, the footprint of the building inside the fence is actually the boundary line. The pavilion itself sits on town council land because we swapped a tiny triangle of land with another bit so that the pavilion was all on one ownership land. So the fence around it is the boundary for ours, and the other bit, the road bit, like we said just now, that's dual use there, so I think maybe dual maintenance.
Councillor Leach.
Yeah, it's just a point for those who don't know. The footpaths used to run up on the other side, on the cricket field side. Ever since when I first moved there, there was a gate, and I think it still isn't a gate, right in the corner, so you come in the corner park. It was agreed that that footpath be moved over to this side, on the green side, to run down. Now, as that footpath has been moved shortly, that's very
I believe,
might be ours, but it's still a public footpath.
So it went through the proper process with Devon County Council to move that footpath. So it's a footpath.
I believe from our zoning maps that where we have the land registry that matches what is ours, that bit of the footpath comes under our bit.
I think we agree that we don't want
No,
to do it. Can I propose that, yes, we would like to take the maintenance away, but can we try DMAT first, then Devon County, and then come back to us? Councillor Marsh?
I'd like to propose that we actually, whoever it is has asked this question, go back and say, we feel that Ochre and DMAT or the college, whoever is doing that now, ought to share the cost of that.
I could take my proposal away.
I think the parks team asked for this because they have recently been filling it in.
Well, I think what I said, propose that we suggest to Ochre and DMAT that it's their responsibility because they're the ones that are using it all the time.
Councillor Leach?
can we check if all public footpaths have a number? I don't know why. No, that is, if it's got a number, then it should go through. Certainly, percentage of it should go through dedicated.
My one assumption is that a footpath doesn't have to be maintained to vehicular access, which is why it's not been, and that's why it's been asked because of the potholes.
Right.
So I've withdrawn mine, proposed by Councillor Marsh, that we send it back saying, do it between yourself, DMAT and Opera. Councillor Coleman? Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. Seven point three, footpath reinstatement. To make an update.
The path rebuild is to commence the week beginning the 29th of June.
Can I ask what footpath it is?
The one near the reinstated bandstand. Do you remember at Christmas the great big tree fell down? That one.
Thank you.
Thank you, that was just the noting. 7.4, riverbank repairs, further update.
Material currently being ordered, late June, early July start date.
7.5, sporting facilities. Consider a request from Okra and Oakhampton College to improve the facilities. This is a sort of PowerPoint presentation that is attached to your notes. The request has been received for permission to add permanent football and rugby goalposts in the locations that have been identified for additional pitch marking. See a separate document, and I think they're talking about 3 mini pitches on the cricket ground, football, and then 2 rugby, and I don't know what a senior pitch is, what that's for, I don't know what particular sport.
That's the rental. Team, isn't it? Not 5-a-side, I think.
Do we have any comment from the park team?
The park team, no. The junior football team, who a representative came in today, they haven't been asked about this and they are not very keen because they don't want people playing all over their pitches all the time, as it'll wear them away to a greater extent than they're already being worn away.
If you have a set goal post,
Yeah.
it usually digs it. They were playing in the same spot. It just digs.
Where they then take the goalposts and put them away, if people are playing, it's not always in the same spot, whereas they are concerned it will always be between those 2 posts.
And this is coming from the college and Opera.
This proposal has the junior football team say they haven't been consulted.
Yeah, but this
Yes.
paper, so they are aware of potential where that is likely to occur then.
I would assume so.
I can understand that the what can I say, the encouragement for juniors and younger people to play these sports and encourage it there. But if they're saying about wearing away of it, then I don't know.
Councillor Leach?
Well, if we agree this, we must see a proper maintenance plan, so that maintain those areas properly to the parks. Otherwise, surely that's some potholes in the grass.
Councillor Yelland?
I mean, I haven't got the PowerPoint presentation. I saw it on my computer, but I haven't got it in front of me. Can I just clarify from that? Thank you. They're looking actually for the cricket field then. So it looks like the cricket field to be made of 3 football playing pitches with permanent goals, and what would be the impact then for any cricket that might want to be played on there? There wouldn't be a
It tells you in there.
It does, okay, so that makes sense. Several weeks since I've read it.
I have to say, as a trustee, I've not heard this from it. And yet they hire out the pictures. Councillor Bird.
I think it says there that although there will be permanent goals, that they'll be installed into a socket, and so then they can be removed if somebody wants to play cricket, and that's kind of the thing. But then also, I suppose what they could do is they could rotate the goals around, so but they fit in, so they are able to be able to take them out because they're permanent. It's a permanent horse, isn't it? And then
I
you can
think
actually remove them.
the goals would move, but the sockets would stay.
The sockets would stay. But
Yes.
what I'm suggesting is that, say for instance, you've got 3 pitches there on the cricket field. If one was getting used all the time, then they could remove the goals, and then they'd be encouraged to use another one, and it could be a rotation. So then actually you rotate between 3 sets of pitches as opposed to always playing on one, and hopefully that would help to for the wear and tear. That's just us. But I suppose they would have to take that on board themselves, how they were going to manage the wear and tear. But I think it'd be a shame not to put that up, because I just thought that'd be really great for kids just to rock up and play football, and then they have the goals already there. So I think it's a good idea, but I just understand that there might be a situation where there might be a bit of wear and tear. It just has to be managed.
You think you'd like a presentation from somebody just to explain what they want? I mean, the cricket, I can read out the bit about the cricket. I've just found that one. What is it? Limitations, cost. You've seen it. Councillor Marsh?
They do say they can take it out if cricket or anything is required there, but as we know, it gets compacted there in the goal,
Yeah.
and the grass gets worn away, doesn't it? As has already been mentioned, so that would be hard to repair again or quickly.
Councillor Young?
And the cricket pitch, of course, has a very different layout, and particularly the runs. That has to be very carefully maintained, rolled short, the length of the grass. And I could see that actually, from a practical point of view, if that was converted essentially into football pitches, that realistically people certainly wouldn't be able to play cricket as any standard, because the pitch wouldn't be appropriate.
I do. Councillor Marsh, Councillor Leach, and then Councillor Campbell.
In reply to your cricket thing, there is an artificial strip there already, and also they haven't got it on the thing. It says they haven't got anybody there for a cricket team. They did have interest at one time, but they haven't now. It seems to nobody wants to form any cricket. Exactly.
Councillor Leach?
Yeah, I think that's the one area I'm concerned about cricket field. It says permanent goals, and it goes on the screen, installing sockets that can be taken out, but they're not actually permanent, but they would prefer them permanent, and I prefer them not to be permanent. Because I think,
Well, if you've got a socket in a hole, people running around playing cricket, they won't be around.
well,
Stop it
I
up.
overhead places, but even so, that is a cricket field, and it's used for recreation for college students. Every lunchtime they come out in masses, and it's usually not a mass clear up of rubbish afterwards. But yeah, that's my concern about that particular area. I think it's going to be overused if that's the 3 pitch system, and would take a lot of maintenance to keep it in a good condition, even if we have the operating.
Councillor Connor?
I was never really a big one for football or cricket. I seem to recall as a child we used to throw out sweaters on the ground and wear the goals.
permanent goals to play football. And my thoughts somewhat echo Councillor Leach's thoughts with regards to the potential for more and more damage. If you put these sockets in place, then kids will use those sockets as goalpost markers anyway. So whether you take the goals or posts away or not, the marker is going to be there. And they'll probably use that goal area, and then we'll very well end up with the damage that we were talking about earlier. That's my concern.
Anyone else? Anybody want to propose anything then? Do you want further information? Councillor Allen?
Mr. Chairman, you did say earlier, maybe I think there was something up at the earlier table about inviting them along to make a presentation, and then we could ask questions. Maybe that would be better than just having these sheets of paper. So my suggestion is that we invite them along to answer our questions. That's just a thought.
Thank you. Councillor Leach?
Yeah, just thinking back, sports fields were top of the list, going back some years and trying to find spaces for extra sports. There's still a couple of different ideas in that area, and with the other side of the little footpath going up to Ball Hill, where there's going to be a cut and fill in there, be great, the sports field. The other one was going right in the bottom end, which is the land that the charities just bought, past the bottom footpath. That area was looked at as having to be a second sports field. So if they aren't needed, instead of rugby, they would probably find it quite useful. But I think, for me, the cricket field is the one that sort of stops me.
Councillor Coleman?
I'd like to second Councillor Ireland's proposal.
So we'd like more information. Can we defer this today and arrange a presentation perhaps 20 minutes or 10 minutes before our meeting starts next time? And take it forward from there. That's your proposal. That's been seconded. All in favour? I'll abstain because I'm not a crowd trustee. Diesel spill. To note an update in relation to the spillage of diesel from the train.
As mentioned above, but the clear-up will continue until we get a few days heavy rain. Once that happens and the clean-up team are satisfied, the booms and pads will be removed and access will be then allowed back to the river and the signs will come down. Until then, it is still not safe to go in it.
Councillor Leach?
I was asked literally yesterday if Great Western Rail would be responsible for this clean-up. Do we know?
I know that they are now sending a company out every 2 days to test the water, so I take it they have taken some responsibility for it.
Councillor Ireland?
Yeah, just to add to that, on the 2nd of July, I'll be attending the Great Western Stakeholders Conference in Swindon. So if there was a point that the council wanted to make, I can make it there at that meeting for you, just to give you that information. So I will be there at the meeting.
Thank you. 7.7 wildlife events. To note the dates of the planned events. They're on your sheet. 1st of May, been and gone. How did that go? Nocturnal walk?
I think they had over 50 participants for that one.
2nd of May, the moth and insect catching events in the meadow. Sunday the 26th, 8th of June, hedges and bird event. Wednesday, August the 12th, pond dipping. Dartmoor National Park are hosting that one. The 18th of August, insect catching meadow. And Friday the 28th of August, a bat and nocturnal event again. Make sure I mention all those for our readers. 7.8 Simmons Park car park to consider the offer of free parking in December as previous for the Saturday 10th. Alright. Saturday 10th or 27. Councillor Marsh.
The request here is also for Saturday for 10 tours. Can I ask why not suggested? Because Saturday is only a half a day anyway, and if we do it for 10 tours, are we going to be asked to do it for other ones?
It was a request from the army in response to trying to encourage people down from the camp back into town if there was a free parking offer to try and help the businesses.
The committee is requested to consider to offer this free parking in December. That's build up to Christmas.
We do that always,
do that well. And this new one for 10 tours next year for Saturday. Councillor Leach and Councillor Pond.
I propose both. Certainly for 10 tours, but try next year.
Thank you. Councillor Coleman.
Yes, I think previously the free parking has helped the town, and I was in conversation with the team running 10 tours last weekend, and we spoke about this, and I think it might be an idea if we could extend that to, or get the council to extend that to the other car parks as well. It could very well help bring more people from 10 tours into the town. And I think, that would be a great idea. So I'd like to second Councillor Leach's proposal.
Before we vote on that, Kathleen.
Right, I actually don't fine with the December. My only slight concern about 10 tours is, and if West Devon were prepared with their charges as well, I perhaps would be more supportive. But my only slight concern is the Simmons Park car park. That's the only income we have that goes towards the running of the park. And the people of the town have to pay to park there, and they're also paying through their council tax towards the running of the park. Now, it would cost more through their council tax if we didn't have the car parking income to do that. But it is also about the only way actually that the town council can itself generate any form of income towards the running of the car park from outside the town. So while I understand, yes, it's most definitely in the interests of the businesses and all the other and everything else, my slight concern is what the impact is going to be on the council taxpayer for this. I would like to think, I'd probably be more inclined to want to support it if I thought that all parking charges could be lifted. I mean, I get you wouldn't be able to get the on-street restrictions lifted, because certainly that would be possible, but if the parking charges in the Millwall car park as well could be lifted on that particular day, then I think that would be perhaps better, that the two could be lifted together. That's all I would say, I think.
Thank you, Councillor Marsh.
Maybe would Councillor Leach add to his proposal that we approach West Devon and ask them if they will for that Saturday morning. It is only 4 hours that we would lose in the park. It's only half a day there anyway. It's not a whole day. But if Councillor Leach would add that to his proposal.
I'm quite happy to accept my proposal. But as just pointed out, it's just for 4 hours. And it's, for me, it's a trial.
And it's a trial. One off.
A trial. One off.
The proposal is then that we say yes is on a one-off occasion for the particularly 10 tours. Stick with December, no problem. 2 hours. I'm just hopefully clearing it out. And we approached West Devon to reciprocate the offer. So that it's already been proposed, been seconded. All in favour? It's unanimous then. I've done that one. Oh, play equipment. Item 8. To consider the annual play area inspection reports. The Sillings Parks, Parklands and the Skate BMX track undertaken by an independent inspector in March.
I'm not enjoying wearing James's hat. The Rosper inspection took place with only a few minor issues, which the majority have already been rectified in the past couple of weeks, and just some painting and a new piece of foam being waited on to complete all advisory repairs replacements. Skate Park was flagged again as being safe but in need of replacing.
Just to note, consider it. Anybody got any comments? Move on, thank you. Item 9, cemetery, 9.1 burials.
Slightly more my area of expertise. So in your report is an update on the burials, which thankfully have been very few and far between.
One burial and 3 headstones. 9.2, row 19, the alignment of the headstones.
So far, we have met with one stonemason up at the cemetery and actually pegged out a plumb line, and he is going to move the stone that he is responsible for. He spoke to another stonemason who has 2 in that row, and he is going to meet us when he has returned from holiday in a couple of weeks to just confirm where his stones are moving. One stone happened to go away because the one burial was a reopening, so that stone went anyway. So I am just awaiting one stonemason's comeback, and if nothing is heard by next week, I shall be chasing them up. I have spoken to several of the families in that row who are all quite happy, and we are keeping in contact with them. Initially, there was some slight confusion about which direction we were moving the stone. Instead of that way and that way, they thought we were going that way and that way towards the fence and the path, but we have cleared that all up. And so at the moment, everybody is, I wouldn't say happy, but not angry at us.
Thank you, well done with that. 9.3, new land purchase.
So this morning we had a Teams meeting with the contractor we appointed to undertake the planning application for us for this land, now that we have in writing from the diocese that they have confirmed they will sell it to us. They are going to get underway and come back with some initial things for you to look at for the July meeting. There will be a final look for our September meeting with the hope that the planning application will go in at that point once we are confirmed we're happy in September, and then it's just the wait for planning to say yay or nay. So the ball has started and we are rolling.
Thank you. 10, payment to resolve to approve the payment schedule and to note back payments during the week commencing the 11th of May, totaling £4,105.17. Excluding VAT.
I get caught by this all the time because there's bank holidays in May and a lot of them. So last week you informally approved, and we have just confirmed, and Councillor Ireland has checked all the invoices and bits and pieces to go with it, the first list from the 11th of May, and then you all have a copy of the 18th of May. And we are trying to catch up with payments as next Monday is yet another bank holiday.
Councillor Coleman seconded. All in favour? Thank you, Matt. I'll sign them off tomorrow on the pooler. Right. 11, reports of council working task and finish groups. Cemetery management, we haven't had a meeting. Is it one due?
No, not for the moment.
Not that one? And the other one, projects, Council Ireland, Marsh, Tolly and Weeks. Was that it? Putty?
So that is the 16th of June we are meeting, and I am happy to report that we have got funding for the town passport project from West Devon, which will be coming to that meeting, or possibly a second one, once I've had a quick chat with the designer to get a sort of basic look, which will take people around our outside spaces, not just the park, around the town, with some of the history and some of the wheels that you can spin around that are already up. So the bits are in place around the town, we just need the passport for them to go round.
So it's Tuesday, 16th of June.
Yes,
And what time is that?
8:30.
What, in the morning?
Yes,
There is due.
we start early here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Item 12, members' reports and requests for agenda items. I've got
Missed.
most of them. If you're happy, then I'll do all mine together and then Councillor Marshall. There's nobody else there, I don't think. Apart from the carnival one. First of all, I'll report on doing date order. So on the 28th of April, I attended the Ochra AGM, which went very well. There were about 25 visitors, all captains of teams and supporters. Trustees that have left is Alex, who represented the football club, Derek Brett, the former college principal, and Andy Ewing. And we have got John Jarvis is now the chair, Phil Davis is now the vice chair, and we have Rachel Luxton as a trustee from the Hamlets. The finances are in good order and have been approved and in the black. The CAF made a surplus for the first time in years, and can only improve now that the football club has chosen to leave the agreement with regard to the pavilion. The next one I went to was on Friday the 1st of May, which is the bid meeting. CWR have granted the bid at £10,500 by way of a grant to improve signage and wayfinding. The bid did pay a grant to the tourist information, so they can carry on for another 12 months. The Edwardian evening has been outsourced to event people, and that's already ongoing. I don't know again. Dartmoor Search and Rescue are being supported because of the rate issue and these charities. We're trying to give something back to make sure that they're not hard hit. So the bigger supporting a Dartmoor Rescue event, which is an endurance cycle race, which they are organising for the first time for themselves rather than a Dartmoor. And I think we're going to buy one of those big inflatable start-finish lines or something like that, and then other charities can borrow it and put their own logo on the front, so it should be quite a useful item. I'll come to it. A bid member attended the civic ceremony of the mayor choosing. I did enjoy it. And I think that's about it. As far we've had to re-advertise for the manager. We've had, I think, about 5 applicants, and I think they were interviewed this week, starting from the 11th. So hopefully, next 2 weeks we'll know what's going on with that. Councillor Leach, about that?
Just as the rates issue, I hope would be the same for the other charities.
retirement, let's
All
define
this.
something.
Can I just have a minute of that, the support that they gave the St George's Day, I think we were very grateful to.
And then on the 12th of May, back to the Oakhampton Regeneration Board meeting. We had a presentation by Carl Wright, the senior engineer from Devon County Council. This is only 8 days ago, so this is probably most up to date. Tells you about the new train station, will be 200 car park spaces. There'll be car drop-off points on both sides of the station. There will be fit-out work taking place this month, safety testing in June, and the station is scheduled to be opened in the summer, hopefully by the end of July. And then I've told you about the farmers market. The Oakhampton Employment Fair was well attended with 65 attendees, as opposed to 40 from last year. 16 stall holders, including the police, education, training, recruitment, logistics and local charities. Although the interest from the attendees hadn't translated into jobs on the day, it was felt that the genuine interest and the good opportunity for networking. And that is about it. The next date for that one is to be agreed. Councillor Leach?
When it comes round, again, can we try our very best to get local companies to come to this fair, especially to talk about whether they can or will take on apprentices. The only two organisations, one was to do with the civil service, one was to do with the men, which were there, but the rest, there was really nothing for youngsters to go on to try and get onto something. They did try to push something on in Exeter. I think it was the next week. We don't want it in Exeter, we want it here. Please.
Okay. And the last one from me is Parklands Leisure Centre, and we haven't had a meeting. No. Councillor Leach.
We all know the issues are open. I know at Parkland. I think the new contractors we should be taking over if they haven't already very soon. And what I'm hoping is once they get established, we can then start saying let's have some ready meetings.
Thank you. Councillor Marsh, you have Dartmoor National Park Forum and Devon Town Champion.
It's easy. Speaking of meetings for all three of us. But can I ask why I'm down as 12 to Dartmoor National Park, and then the next one is 12.5, also Dartmoor National Park. That's doubled up, and also the same with Councillor Tolley's.
I think I can answer that.
Yeah.
I think I put them in order so that Councillor Tolley's were all together and yours were all together, and then when I was away unwell, I think Emma has looked and thought I'd missed them, so added them back in their original place. So next time I will make sure they are not doubled up.
Because I go to the forum, I'm also representing the Town Council for the dynamic landscapes for Dartmoor National Park, but so far, whether it's because they've now got a new chief executive and they haven't diaried in these things yet, I don't know, but there's nothing happening there, and the Town Champion, I just heard nothing whatsoever there, so I don't even know what it's about.
Okay, there's no further questions on that. Can I?
Seven?
Oh, Carnival Committee. Any reports from our representative?
There are none from our representatives, but the afternoon parade for the children has been cancelled because of lack of support and complaints about the road closure. So the committee made the difficult decision to take out the afternoon parade this year.
Councillor Young?
No, this is the right place to bring it up. But I was contacted by somebody from the Carnival Committee who expressed some concerns that a previous member who was on the was a town council rep had made a statement here about their ability to collect funds and said that everybody, they could only collect funds through like a chipping cards, they couldn't take cash donations. Apparently caused a few problems for the Carnival Committee. That actually statement is inaccurate. I think maybe perhaps where that individual was coming from is that the last the van that used to go around the trailer, that can no longer be done, but people carrying buckets, they will still be able to take, so cash donations will still be able to make. So it was an inaccurate statement made, which I think caused a few problems and some confusion. So I just wanted to clarify that in the public domain for me. Thank you.
Councillor Coleman?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Councillor Young for bringing that up. A few people have mentioned that to me, and I think it's really important that we make it very clear here tonight that it isn't the case that you can only give money to Carnival via card and cash at the moment.
Thank you. Whether the postmaster will deal with it is a different matter. Part 2. The committee is recommended to pass the following resolution to resolve under section 1(2) of the Public Bodies Administrations Act of 1960 that the public and press be excluded from the meeting for the following items, which are confidential by virtue of relating to legal and or commercial matters, staffing and or financial or business affairs of a person or persons other than the council. Can I have a proposer? Councillor Ireland, seconder. Councillor Bird, all in favour? Thank you very much. Into part 2 we go.